All right, if you got a lot of apples, you should make some apple cider. First, secret ingredient. All right, throw in some ginger, allspice, cloves, you can see that, right? Some cinnamon sticks, nutmeg, just ground up. I was gonna make it a little spicy, but technical difficulties. Right as I was about to hit record. So it'll be PG-13 or you just use your imagination. Spark Notes gonna boil everything together and then strain it so you can turn off the video if that's all you came for. Bring 1 large pot of water to boil. This is actually a secret technique that took many years to really get down, so I'll go over that in another video. For now, you can just cut these however you want. Feel free to slice, chop, cube. You can use your apple core. It doesn't really matter because this is gonna all turn into mush anyway. Use a vegetable peeler to peel off the rind from the orange. The rind has a lot of flavor, and if you're not including these whenever you're cooking with citrus, you're missing out on a whole bunch of deliciousness. Cut up your orange. I threw the whole thing in. I would advise against this because it might make it too bitter, so you might want to peel off the white part or just juice the orange juice directly into the pot. Slice up your ginger. I threw these big chunks in. We're going to be cooking this for about an hour, so the size doesn't really matter too much. Add in your spices, your allspice, your cloves, your cinnamon sticks, and your nutmeg. All of this is no sugar added. Every recipe I find online mentions to add sugar. You don't need it. Apples are naturally sweet. They're fruit. Fruits don't need sugar. I don't know why everybody adds sugar to them. Whatever. Let that boil uncovered for an hour. While we wait, apple chips. If you have very good slicing skills, go for it. I prefer to use a mandolin. I'm gonna use the protective shield guard just because I ran into a not fun situation a few weeks ago. The thinner these are, the quicker they'll cook up. You want to toss them with coconut oil and some cinnamon. Make sure to spread that really nicely throughout each slice. Sound like you're massaging grandma's feet. Throw them in the oven at 225 for an hour. After an hour is up, you can reduce the boil to a simmer and cover your pot. Take out your apple chips and flip them each individually so the other side can dry out as well. If you have a dehydrator, that would also work very nicely. I'm not too sure about an air fryer. If you want to go for it and update me, let me know how it works. Throw those back into the oven, and you've got another hour to kill. Read a book, stretch, make sure you get both sides. In about an hour, grab whatever tool you want to use to strain out the apple cider with. I'm using a mesh strainer. You can use a coffee bag, cheesecloth, nut bag, anything like that. I'm putting them directly into my food processor because we're going to use this to make applesauce. But make sure you pick out the hard spices like the ginger and the orange pieces and apple cores. I don't think you want to eat those. Strain out the remaining apple cider. Carefully strain out the remaining apple cider. I'm using my mesh strainer and a spoon to wiggle things around just to get out all the extra juice. Use your food processor according to the manufacturer's instructions, which means make sure it's plugged in. I didn't do that. If If you don't have a food processor, you can just use a wooden spoon or your hands to mash them up. It's gonna be hot, so be a little careful. I wanted this to be a little chunky, so I just did a few quick pulses instead of a full-on puree. But if you're making this into kind of a baby food, puree it for as long as you want. Oh yeah, that's actually way better than I thought. Here's a close-up for you. Make sure you pick out all the spices. I definitely found a few bits of allspice in there. You don't want to bite into that. Now it's time for the secret ingredient. Nah, just kidding. It broke, remember? Take the blade out. I'm scooping it into a jar to save it in. Here's a second taste test for you. Wow. Oh, before I forget, apple chips. Yeah, check that out. Nice and crispy. They're naturally so sweet, you don't need to add any sugar. I don't know why any of these recipes use sugar in the first place. There you have it. You got your apple chips. These are good on their own, or you can have them as a side. Let's try out our cider. Yes, that's a Bambi cup. I'm gonna show you something really quick. If you have some cinnamon sticks, I'm gonna light it on the stove just to give it a quick char. That way the smoke from the cinnamon stick gives you some nice cinnamony aromas. I'm gonna stir up the cider with it and just leave it in there. You can use this as a straw too, if you wanna drink directly from it. You get a little extra cinnamon on your lips that way. Yeah, the only thing that would make it better is a little whiskey.